Ever feel like you're just stuck? Like you're running on a treadmill, working harder and harder, but you're not actually going anywhere? Well, if that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are definitely not alone. Today, we are diving into Lü Bai's incredible book, Underlying Logic, which gives us a completely new way to get off that treadmill for good. This question, man, it hits close to home for so many of us, right? It's that feeling of the constant grind, the never-ending to-do lists, and that little sense of burnout that's just always lingering around the corner. It is absolutely exhausting, and it can really feel like you're just spinning your wheels with nothing to show for it. And here it is, the core idea from the book that kind of flips everything on its head. Lü Bai says the problem isn't how hard you're working. Nope, it's your underlying logic. Think of it like the mental operating system you're running on. And chances are it's outdated, it's buggy, and honestly, it's time for a major upgrade. So where do we even begin with an upgrade like that? Well, we start by busting a huge myth that has been sold to us our entire lives, that more hard work is always the solution. And to do that, we're going to look at a story of some extreme but totally misguided effort from the author's own life. Okay, so picture this. As a young intern at a huge media company, Lü Bai was absolutely determined to prove himself. He figured the fastest way to do that was just through pure brute force volume. He worked day and night, just relentlessly churning out content. And in one single month, he wrote and submitted 54 articles. 54. And here is the absolutely crushing result of all that effort. All that work. Out of those 54 articles he poured his soul into, guess how many actually got accepted for publication? Just one. And even that one, it barely made a dent. All that work, all those sleepless nights, for basically nothing. Oof. His manager's feedback was a massive wake-up call. All that effort had zero direction. He was so obsessed with the quantity of his work that he completely forgot about the quality. He wasn't really working hard. He was just busy being busy. And that is a classic symptom of a flawed underlying logic. So, if just grinding harder is a dead end, what's the alternative? Well, this brings us to the second huge myth we need to bust, one that is so deep in our culture, this obsession we have with time management. The book makes this brilliant point. We need to stop trying to manage time, which is impossible, by the way, and start managing our energy. The difference is a total game changer. See, time management chops your day into these tiny, rigid blocks, creating all this anxiety and treating a minor email with the same importance as a huge project. But energy management? It's all about finding that critical 20% of your tasks that'll get you 80% of your results and pointing your best, sharpest energy right there. It's about being a sniper, not a machine gun. And this is where the book really goes against everything we've been told. We always hear, you just need more self-discipline, use more willpower. But the book argues that what we think of as discipline, it's not about forcing yourself to do things. It's the natural result of feeling a sense of achievement. That feeling is what fuels you to keep going. The book has a perfect example. The author had a friend who got into amazing shape, and everyone was like, wow, your self-discipline is incredible. But the real driver wasn't some iron will. It was a positive feedback loop. See, every time he posted a gym selfie, he'd get tons of likes and comments, even from a girl he had a crush on. That little hit of achievement, that positive feedback, was the fuel that made him want to go back. The achievement created the discipline, not the other way around. This whole idea of achievement fueling motivation leads us straight to our next myth. And this one is a trap that paralyzes so many of us, because it stops us from ever getting those little wins in the first place. I'm talking about the destructive, paralyzing pursuit of perfection. To really see how this trap works, let's look at the story of the author's classmate, Zhao. This guy was brilliant, probably the smartest person in his class, but he was totally crippled by this need to be perfectly prepared before he did anything. And the cycle was just devastating. The first time he tried to get into grad school, something tiny disrupted his perfect study plan, so he felt unprepared and just gave up. The next year, he failed and blamed it on not having prepared enough on certain topics. By his third try, he was so eaten up by the anxiety of not being ready that he almost quit again. He was stuck in a loop of endless preparation and zero completion. And the book uses such a powerful metaphor for this. It says you can't just wait around for that perfect moment when all the lights are green, because that moment is never going to come. Life demands that you start cooking with the ingredients you've got right now, even if you're missing a few of the fancy spices. And listen, this isn't just some nice-sounding theory. It's the core philosophy behind some of the most successful companies in the world. The goal is to get things done, get them out there, and then make them better based on what you learn from the real world. Waiting for perfect isn't a high standard. It's just a very convincing form of procrastination. Okay, on to our final myth. We have all heard the phrase, your network is your net worth. But what if our whole approach to building that network has been completely backwards this whole time? The author shares his own pretty cringy experience with this. He went to some big industry event, right? Eagerly ran around collecting business cards, and then sent out dozens of connection requests to all the big shots he met. And the result? You guessed it, crickets. Almost nobody accepted. Why? Because to them, he was just some random guy offering them nothing of value. And this right here reveals the real secret to networking. A powerful network isn't something you build by collecting contacts like they're baseball cards. It's something that naturally forms around you as you build your own value. It's not a Rolodex, it's a magnet. People connect with people who can offer something meaningful. So get this, a few years later, after Lü Bai had published his books and become a recognized name in his field, something incredible happened. Those same industry leaders who completely ignored him before, they started sending him connection requests. His value went up and his network grew all by itself without him having to chase a thing. So what's the big takeaway from all this? How do we actually put these ideas to work in our own lives? Let's bring it all home and talk about the single most important upgrade that you can make. The solution to feeling stuck is not just about working longer and harder. We know that's just a one-way ticket to burnout city. And it's not about trying to white-knuckle your way through with more willpower. That's like trying to push a car that's out of gas. It's just not sustainable. The real solution is to stop trying to fix the symptoms, the long hours, the feeling of being undisciplined, and to go after the root cause. It's about making a fundamental shift in your perspective, from brute force to smart strategy, from perfectionism to actual progress, and from chasing a network to becoming a source of value. It is time to upgrade your underlying logic. So I'll leave you with this challenge. What is one piece of your own personal operating system that you are going to upgrade starting today? Maybe it's embracing done is better than perfect on that project you keep putting off. Or maybe it's focusing your best energy on that one high-impact task instead of 10 little ones. What's the one small upgrade you can make right now? The power to change everything is right there.